Hey guys, I hope you're liking these tips live from Mexico. Just a quick one for you guys that are sliding around with your hips. You're going to use this leg here, trail leg, and kick that knee in, right? Put that knee in like Palmer did. Arnold Palmer used to kick that sucker in there, and then you just work off it. You have it like so. This one's a little straighter, right? And this one's bent. And then as you start the backswing, start straightening this leg back, and it takes the tailbone and hip turn perfectly recentered. It's amazing. Let me hit one for you. We got a lot to cover in this. Knees are pinched in. Start to straighten the right knee, centers the hips. Hips go forward, separating the knees. He's got the lag coming in, squeezes up and forward, way forward with the CGs.
1001, 1002, 1003.
Hey guys, I just wanted to put in Mac O'Grady here. We owe a lot to this guy. Absolutely gave us instructors and players alike such good quality alignment. It's undefeated. I mean, here's this knee kick I'm talking about with Mac here. You see how his leg started there? He's looking in the camera and just making sure he's in good shape for him to look at later. And just watch how the last thing he does here before he takes off, he kind of moves right foot back, okay? And now there, he compresses and kicks that both knees in. It's actually not just the right knee, but you can also see the left kneecap go as well. So this guy just kind of, he's like squeezing his pelvis a little bit. Okay, so the pelvis sits in between the hips. And so that it's going to internal with both of them. And it almost like an Arnold Palmer putting stance when you look at this right here. And what that does is it locks in the alignments and muscles and stuff. So if you just from here start back and start pivoting that tailbone, you see the left knee go inward a little more towards that arrow there, and the right knee went into a straightening effect, which actually moved this pocket around. I'll draw this red line here for you, and you'll see how the pocket now starts to move away from this line, right? So it's that beautiful getting the weight forward before you get to the end of the backswing. Tailbone center is already over the left instep there. And then there's, of course, Mac's incredible arm action where the alignments come in and he just gets ready to pound on this thing. Look at the lag there created. He's got the knees now well past, and that right knee's kind of in line with the golf ball. The left knee's outside of the ankle big time. Foot flare is key, guys, so you need to get at least 20 on there so your knee can flex out over it and move the centers forward, because as you see here, Mac's always on a tripod, and I will put a line. He's in the go position here. Okay, so I'm just going to leave the blue line right there, and we'll see him wind up, and then you'll notice where the head is. So he's gone to center of the head or left eye, and by impact, he's now outside on the right ear. Okay, so there is a shift of the floating center of gravities and or shifting. So you don't shift your hips and leave your head back, because then instead of this correct spine angle here, you would be incorrect with this spine angle if you shifted your hips and left your head back. And that's what I see with a lot of my students leaning back. So let me clear this out so you can hear this as well. Pinch the knees. Boom. Let's do it again. Pinch the knees, tailbone forward. There you go. Well, there you go. Now, take that tip and see how you do. Leave some comments always, and can't wait to see you out here in Mexico. March, the two-man event is coming. Event, I've got 10 teams signed up, only taking 20. Okay, so I was talking to you about this alignment of the shaft and left arm. No one really talks about this. The shaft is in line with the arm right now. Okay, if the shaft is out there, it's not in line. If it's here, it's not in line.
it's always seeking to get in line. If you've got it delayed this way and the shaft's like pointing out to right field, you know, the shaft's like this, it's going to want to come in and get in line with this left arm. So at some point on the way down, let's just go through this right now. So on the way up, the club goes up to a point where the club head is level to the ground with your hands. You see that? Just kind of right like this. And then you're going to go up to the top. You're going to come back down, and maybe you're going to drop the club in shallow and do all this stuff, and then it's got to whip around quite a bit. Or you do what I do and just try to get it on plane like Hogan's plane, go down the plane, and then the club falls right in the slot. Much less complicated, easier to do, more efficient. So what I wanted to tell you was that what really no one says out there is like, where should, you know, we talk about P6, that's an alignment that from GRADY and the Morad system was a way for us to reference how we go about checking our swings on video. Or online now I can say, hey, P3 is off, we need to do a little bit of this, and that'll have an effect all the way down the chain into impact. So it's really cool. If you want to get into OnForm, it's an app where I can go one-on-one with you, and you'll have your own portal, so you don't have to get on the roulette wheel of social media. And we can work together, one-on-one, mano a mano. So this is where I was going with this. So P6 is here, but what about the next phase is like when the club head goes below the hands? Where is it? Should it be right in line with the hands? Can it be a little bit behind the hands? Is it in front of the hands? Where is it? Well, I'll tell you what, right now, there's a little line, let's say, right between me here and the ball. As I bring it down, you're going to see Steve Stricker, the club below the hands right here, and way to the right, or to the left as you're looking, of this imaginary line right here, between my feet and the golf ball. So it is not coming down like this. That is not it. It should be like Tiger Woods lets it fall, and he's got it close to his leg, below the hands, and then it's going to swing out at that point. So a lot of you I know think you should come down and get this club head all the way down back here, and you're really, even though it doesn't look like it's over the top, you've pushed the club above the plane and it gets a little bit clumsy. So I'll put in there, I'll show you Stricker's move. Steve's not a wristy dude, and he's playing forever great golf. And then I'll show you Tiger, the master of alignments. So simple. As Tiger would say, I use a more neutral grip so I can do more things with the golf ball. Yes, sir, Mr. Tiger. But that means that he's not cranked this way. He's also not Morikawa, straight down thumb. He's got a little turnover. He's got like one knuckle grip. Okay, so I like one or two knuckles. You know, you get good with that, and you got to hang in there with it, and it's going to allow the club face to be a little bit more neutral throughout the swing. As old Jack Nicklaus would say, he thought the address position is where he tried to stay throughout the whole swing. So in other words, as he wound up and got to here, he could go right back and put the club down. It looks identical. So getting back to the Stricker look, when you think about, okay, well, this club's going to go below my hand somewhere. Should it be closer to the ball when I do that? That's what I see my players do. Or should it be to the right side of me, under my hands, and slightly inside of my hands? Well, that's only going to hit draws for you, like Stricker. Let's give one a go. All right, so you signed up for Morad. That's awesome. GRADY, one of the hardest hitting golf ball that I've ever heard in my 2003 school with him, Vegas. So what you're going to learn here is how to set your body on the ground, how to get your center of balance, your center of gravity, as we say, pivoting, keeping yourself organized with your head, the wrist joints, how they set, to accelerate the club down with the pivot train. Right side coming through, elbow, hip, shoulder, everything accelerating through with a bunch of speed and balance. Mac looked the smoothest as anybody, like a Ben Hogan.